Oh, hey, it's me, Jesse Blueflower. Sorry I've been absent so long. I cannot explain it, but it is what it is. So let's just keep going and pretend like nothing happened because you don't really need an explanation. Who cares? It is what it is. All right. So, what are we doing here today? Well, I thought I'd do something kind of different and I would take you through one of my recent D&D trap ideas. So, is this good? Is this bad? I don't know. I'll let you decide that. I'm just going to show you something I did in one of my games very recently. This past Tuesday I did this and I forgot a couple parts of it. Think I forgot one part of it for sure, but I'm gonna let you. You can use this idea and make your own thing, and maybe you'll do a better job of it than me. So, using some miniatures in front of me here, one that I made. So I'll show you this thing. I took just a very basic thing. I kind of had this idea at very last minute to use this actually as a representation. It's a little bit crooked. I'm realizing that's okay. Aren't we all a little crooked? Anyway, in a good way, I mean. Anyway, so this is a little mechanism that you interact with when you're in a room with these two doors. All right. So what happens is your party comes in. You got a bard, you got your ranger or a rogue or something, and you got your dwarf fighter because every party has to have a dwarf. So what you do, you enter into this room. These doors are basically sealed. They're not able to be opened through magical means. They're not able to be mechanically opened because there's no lock to pick, so to speak. So how do they get in? Well, it's obvious that you have to interact with this type of mechanism of some way. Okay, so you're gonna spin it once, and that's what it does. It spins. It becomes apparent. The dungeon master explains to them after they do a little bit of a skill check that you can spin it. Okay, well, he manipulates the door and one of the doors is going to open. Okay, well, is this the right? What happens? What's beyond there? Well, the room's dark. It's hard to see. It's very, very dark. Even with dark vision, there isn't a lot of ambient light. You can't really see in there. You got to kind of poke your nose in. All right, so you poke your nose in. You don't really see anything, but if you fully step in, it's a trap. It's fire. Just fire, motes of fire. Nothing to kill anybody unless they're extremely low level. But I would say as long as you're not level 2 or 3, you should be okay. Um, or adjust it. For my case, I was doing it so that it was for a level 4, so it was a couple d6s of damage. Um, in my case. So then this door, when you put it to this, you spin this to the second location. This door opens. All right, is this the right door? Well, this is a spike trap. All right, okay. There's a third spot you can spin this to. There's 4 spots you can spin this to. All right, so you spin it for the third time. Hit the third one. Both doors open. All right, what does that reveal? Well, it reveals a bit larger room. Well, surely that's the solution. There's only 3 positions that could possibly be right. No, there's actually 4 positions that this dial could be in. But this seems like this is the likely solution, right? So the party proceeds. Well, it's a room that was filled with skeletons and some kind of a ranger ghoul who was launching arrows at them and stuff like that. So they did a big fight. They killed a bunch of skeletons. Skeletons are pretty easy when you're level 4, and they fought the ranger, but they didn't really need to be in there, so they figured out that they could just leave and close the door. So they closed the door, and then they went to the final position of the dial, spun it, and it unlocked a small little passageway in the back of the room, perhaps a hidden cobblestone or flagstone secretly slid out of the way, pardon me, and then revealed this passageway. Well, so the fourth location was the true one. I also one thing I forgot about it as I was saying was I was going to say that there needed to be a password also spoken in Dwarvish, and in Dwarvish, written on the column, was strength and honor. I believe something silly like that. Something you could probably think of something more Dwarvish to put on your special thing. Anyway, so that's what happened. That's the solution. They went through it. They were able to go through. Now, why do you use a puzzle in a game? Why? Sometimes people think they're lame. Sometimes they're too hard. This wasn't that hard. It just was a matter of taking a bunch of damage um, before they get you're softening up your players a little bit. That you need to do that a little bit as a dungeon master. Give them a little bit of damage. Make them think a little bit beyond just like fighting monsters. You know what I mean? So this was an easy solution. They just needed to keep going through and experimenting. There may have been other ways other parties would have tackled that. Who knows? But it's up to you to kind of keep these problems fresh for your players. So that was my again. I don't know if it was a good one. I didn't really have feedback. It could be good. It could be bad. I think it was kind of cool. But I could have misread my players. It is what it is. So anyway, hope take what you can from that and have a great time running your games because it's a great time playing Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned. I hopefully will be uploading a lot more. But I can't, obviously I can't promise anything, but I'll do my best. And I don't know if I'll be doing anything even Dungeons and Dragons related going forward, but probably. So yeah, stay tuned, and you'll likely to see more. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great day.